Hello, Chelsea fans. Welcome back to the Blues Report, and remember to subscribe, then enjoy your news. Let's dive in. Chelsea's preparations for their upcoming Premier League fixture continued yesterday at their Cobham training base, with head coach Enzo Maresca taking charge of an intense session that brought together a number of first-team stars who were not away on international duty. With the domestic season resuming in just a few days, the focus at Cobham was not only on maintaining sharpness, but also on reintegrating players who have either been out with injuries or on the periphery of the squad. Training grounds often provide more answers than questions, and the session yesterday painted a clear picture of how Chelsea are shaping up for the next critical period of fixtures, including the much-anticipated meeting with Brentford. While many of the club's international representatives were still away, the presence of key names such as Enzo Fernandez, Alejandro Garnacho, and Facundo Bounanotte gave the session a competitive edge. Their involvement was crucial because Maresca's philosophy relies heavily on building chemistry and tactical understanding, and missing international duty has given these players more time to work directly under the new coach's system. Fernandez, in particular, has been central to Chelsea's midfield structure, and the opportunity for him to spend additional days at Cobham could prove invaluable, especially considering the Argentine midfielder's fluctuating form over recent months. His sharpness, passing tempo, and leadership in training were noted as positives by those observing closely, with Garnacho's dynamism on the wing adding further sparkle to the drills. Another major headline from the training session was the sight of Benoit Badiashile and Romeo Lavia fully participating with the group. For Chelsea fans, these are not just names on a training sheet, but two highly talented individuals whose absences in recent months have left gaps in both defence and midfield. Badiashile, with his imposing frame and calmness on the ball, offers Maresca a left-footed defensive option that fits the build-up play the Italian manager desires. His injury setbacks have disrupted what once looked like a promising trajectory, but his return to full training is a reminder of the depth Chelsea could soon enjoy again in their backline. Romeo Lavia's situation is even more intriguing. The Belgian midfielder has endured a torrid time with fitness since joining Chelsea, barely managing to build momentum before injuries struck him down repeatedly. Yet, seeing him back in full training, moving freely, and completing all exercises with the rest of the squad sparked hope not only within the camp, but also among the supporters, many of whom have grown increasingly concerned about his long-term durability. His ability to break lines with his passing, shield the defence, and contribute to Chelsea's high-tempo pressing game is undeniable, and if he can remain fit, he could become one of the most influential players in Maresca's system this season. Goalkeeper Robert Sanchez was also present, working under the close watch of Chelsea's goalkeeping coaches. Sanchez, who has had mixed performances since arriving at Stamford Bridge, remains a crucial figure, particularly in how Maresca wants his team to build from the back. Training sessions at Cobham often put heavy emphasis on ball distribution, positional play, and communication between the defensive unit and the goalkeeper, and Sanchez's role yesterday was no different. Alongside him, young defender Jorel Hato continued to make strides, taking in instructions and sharpening his positional awareness in match simulation drills. Hato, still at the beginning of his Chelsea journey, has impressed coaches with his maturity and willingness to learn, and with more senior defenders like Wesley Fofana also training, Chelsea's defensive department finally looked fuller and healthier than it has in months. That said, it was not all good news from Cobham. The glaring absence of Cole Palmer cast a shadow over the otherwise positive training session. Palmer, who has been Chelsea's standout performer since his arrival from Manchester City, remains sidelined after sustaining a groin problem during the pre-match warm-up ahead of the recent West Ham fixture. Initial hopes suggested it might be a minor issue, but his continued absence from training yesterday confirmed that the medical team are treating the injury with extra caution. Palmer's absence raises questions about Chelsea's attacking options heading into the Brentford clash, as his creativity, vision, and knack for producing decisive moments have been integral to the team. Fans will remember that in games where Palmer has been unavailable or below his best, Chelsea have often struggled to break down compact defences. Without him in training, Maresca may need to adapt his tactical plan and look for alternative sources of creativity, whether from Fernandes stepping higher up the pitch or Garnacho being entrusted with more responsibility in wide areas. The intensity of the training session itself reflected the urgency within the Chelsea camp. Reports from those close to the club indicate that Maresca structured the day around a combination of tactical drills, small-sided games, and fitness work. The players began with warm-ups focusing on quick passing patterns, rondos, and positional play, which are staples of the Italians' approach. Attention then shifted to defensive organisation, with Badiashile and Fofana heavily involved in rehearsing transitions and defensive line coordination. Chelsea have, at times, been guilty of defensive lapses this season, particularly when facing counter-attacks, so these drills were seen as vital in ironing out weaknesses ahead of a Brentford team known for their directness and set-piece threat. On the attacking side, Enzo Fernandez was seen orchestrating moves from midfield, with Bounanotte and Garnacho rotating positions in wide channels to practice overloads. The coaches stressed fluidity, encouraging players to interchange and exploit spaces quickly, principles that have become central to Maresca's Chelsea blueprint. For fans, the return of Romeo Lavia stole much of the spotlight. Social media lit up when training photos surfaced, showing the Belgian midfielder in action, smiling, and seemingly free from discomfort. On forums such as Reddit, Chelsea supporters voiced cautious optimism, acknowledging his talent but reminding each other of his injury record. Comments ranged from excitement about finally seeing him integrated into the squad to warnings that the club should manage his minutes carefully. The balance between optimism and caution encapsulates the broader mood around Chelsea right now. A squad full of potential, but still shadowed by persistent injury concerns. Indeed, alongside Palmer's absence, Chelsea are still coping with longer-term injuries, most notably to Levi Colwill, who is recovering from a serious ACL injury sustained last month. His absence continues to limit defensive options, although the returns of Badiashile and Fofana provide some relief. Yesterday's training was also an opportunity for Maresca to assess the sharpness of fringe players and youngsters. With a demanding schedule ahead, including domestic matches, European fixtures, and cup competitions, the depth of Chelsea's squad will be tested, and training sessions like this one allow the manager to gauge who is ready to step